So I want to tell you that please try to keep yourself mute so we do not have any kind of voice disturbance during our session. And if you have any kind of problem like you are not able to see my screen or my audio is not audible to you, then you can immediately unmute yourself and inform me. Okay, or you can type a message to our chat box. I will check this chat box frequently at I will try to check this chat box at every 5 or 10 minutes. So you can type a message for me also. Okay, so try to keep yourself mute. So let me start our today's session. So hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Psyched Center. First of all, I want to introduce you myself. My name is Setu Nandania and I am Autodesk certified instructor. And we are going to start our AutoCAD online training program at Psyched Center. So before we start our session on the software, let me discuss our some past histories. Like before 38 or 40 years, when these softwares are not in the market, so how industries are you working or dealing with the engineering field? So as you all know, we already learned this method, right, in our first semester in engineering field. So in the engineering graphics or engineering drawing subject, we draw each and every sketches manually with the help of drafter and that set square we have, right? And we draw each and everything manually. So that is older method. In the current days, industries are using software because it is very easy to create drawings with the help of software. It provides us a neat and clean design with a very high accuracy, and you can easily edit it. So the biggest benefit is we can easily modify that. We can easily modify or edit that drawing. Once you draw it on a paper, you need to erase it and you need to again redraw it, and it will a time consuming process. But with the help of software, you can anytime or many time you can erase it and you can redraw it or you can recreate it, right? So it's a biggest plus point for using software. And then next, so this software, that means this current situation, current world is running on digital prototyping. So what is digital prototyping? So everything we do with the help of computer system, with the help of softwares, is known as digital process. Okay, and whatever product we are developing with the help of software is known as digital prototyping. So in the digital prototyping, we have many things like design and engineering. In the design side, from the mechanical, we are using SolidWorks, Inventor, Fusion, and many other softwares for the 3D modeling, right? And for the 2D drafting, we have only single solution, that is AutoCAD. Same from the civil side, we are using Revit software for the 3D modeling, right? But for the drafting purpose, we use AutoCAD. So AutoCAD is made for drawing purpose, drafting purpose. So it's a drafting software, right? In the digital prototyping, we have some other modules like testing and validation. So again, we use softwares to compute, to calculate our product strength, that how it will behave in our real world, right? Or what strength we will achieve or we will get in real life, so that we can compute with the help of software, that is analysis process, simulation process. So similarly, we analyze each and every mechanical parts and also analyze civil structure in this civil analysis software. And then we send all the data to the manufacturing and production, where we are also using softwares and computers like automations we have, right? CNC machines we have. So that is all digital prototyping. This is our current industries are working. So now who is using AutoCAD? So AutoCAD is suitable for architecture, construction industries, and also manufacturing industries. That means mechanical, civil, automobile, and architecture. All these fields, all these peoples are using AutoCAD software because it's a drafting software. Then also electrical students and electronics and communication students are also using this software. They have a dedicated module also. AutoCAD electrical software is also available, right? So now let me discuss the modules that AutoCAD software conducts covers. Okay, so first we have 2D drafting. So 2D drafting is the biggest and the core module of AutoCAD software. So this software is mainly designed for 2D drafting. Yes, anyone have question? Hello, I hope am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Okay, so let me discuss these modules now. So first module we have is 2D drafting, and as I told you that it's a core module. Uh, so in this module, AutoCAD is mainly used for 2D drafting purpose. From civil side, you are creating your plan, elevations, and section drawings, right? From mechanical side, you are using orthography drawings, isometric drawings, and developed drawings also, right? So with the help of 2D drafting, we are creating our drawing sheets. So this is our first module. Then we have parametric design module. So this module is mainly designed for your parametric work. You will get relations and constraint over there. So with the help of relations and constraint, you can design your parametric model. Then we have productivity tools. So productivity tools is also a part of our 2D drafting because you will get many tools, so you can enhance your drafting speed. You will get you can take a faster output, better output with the help of this productivity tools option. And then we have 3D modeling. So once you have 2D drawing, then you can use that drawing to create a 3D model in AutoCAD software. Then in the visualization, we can apply some materials and also set up some lightings, and with the help of camera, we can capture a realistic image that we generally use for the advertisement and for the marketing purpose, right? So we can generate images and also walk through video. So walkthrough means, for example, we have a model and we want a complete animated video that we are moving around that model. So in this way, you can create a video animation also with the help of walkthrough animation. And at the end, you have to finish one project. Okay. So these are the modules that SciCAD Center offers in AutoCAD software. Now 2D drafting, as we discussed, we have 2D plans like elevation sections and plan views, then orthography and isometric drawings also we have, right? Parametric design means with the help of dimensions and constraints, you can create a parametric design. Then we have productivity tools where you will get a design center and tool palettes and some your speed enhancing tools. And these are the two libraries. This is our tool palette and this is our design center that is available in AutoCAD. And we can create our own component also in our library. So if you want to extend your library yourself, just create each and every object once and then you can put that object into a library and you can use that object frequently. Like from civil side, if we say I have created many types of sofa, dining tables and bed and all, then I will put all my drawings into my design center or in my library, and whenever I am creating my furniture layout, I will just simply drag and drop all my drawings from there. So I don't need to create multiple times a same thing. Then we have 3D modeling. Here we have example of mechanical also in the image and example of civil also. So you can use both type of peoples can use this module. So this is our 3D modeling where we will convert our drawing into a 3D model. Then we have visualization and walkthrough where we will apply materials, lightings, and then we will capture a image, and also we can capture a video animation also. And here are some advanced software from mechanical side and from civil side that industries are also using. From mechanical side we have Inventor, SolidWorks, Creo, Catia, Fusion 360. So these are the software. From civil side we have robot structure analysis, Revit architecture, Revit structure, Revit MEP, and also we have 3ds Max and SketchUp. So these are the other softwares that also people are using. So we have one question that which software we want to learn. So you can learn any software from this. This list is for the mechanical purpose, mechanical student, and this list is for the civil and architecture student. This is the 3D modeling software from the civil side, and these are the 3D modeling software from the mechanical side that industry is mostly used. Okay, so learn as many software as you can to get to enhance your skills and productivity. Okay, so now let me continue our session with the SolidWorks software. So I am sharing my software screen. Okay, so I hope the screen is visible to you all. Please confirm it once.
Yes, sir.
Visual, sir.
Okay. So now I have shared my AutoCAD screen and we will start our session with the user interface. Okay. So this is the layout of our AutoCAD. And in the AutoCAD on the top, we have a new, open, save, save as, then print, undo, redo. So these are the options we have. This bar is known as quick access toolbar. Okay. And then we have our product version and our file name. And on this side, you can sign in your, if you have a Autodesk account, then you can sign in, and we have search box also. Then we have menu bar. On the second row, we have menu bar, file, edit, view, insert. So these are the menu bar. If it may be not visible for you, so if you want to see that menu bar, just go to this drop down, and here you need to click show menu bar button. See, if I'm click on this hide menu bar, that menu bar will be removed. Okay, and if you want that back, then again go over here and you have a show menu bar option, and then we have ribbon. So this entire portion, what below this menu bar, this entire portion is known as ribbon, and ribbon is made with the two things. One is tabs and second one is panel. So which one is tab? So these are the tabs. See, home, insert, annotation, parametric. So these are the tabs, and these tabs are made with the multiple panels. Like this is draw, this is modify, annotation. So these are the panel. And with the multiple panel, we create one tab and we have many tabs over here. And this entire thing is known as ribbon bar. Okay. Yes, anyone have question? Okay. So next we have on the right side over here we have a transparent column, right? So this column is known as navigation bar. If you don't want this, you can turn off it also. Okay, and if you want to turn it on back, then you need to go to the view. Over here you need to turn on this navigation bar. As you will turn it off, you will get this back. And on the first option in the navigation bar is known as view cube. Okay, so you can turn it on and off from view tab also, like this. But these are the tools that we generally use in the 3D environment. So in the 2D environment it is not necessary for us. So if you are not using that, then you can turn off it. We don't need yet. Then let me then come here on the bottom. So here we have a white color bar. So this bar is known as command line. I have one question that sir, my layout is different from yours. Okay, no problem. I will come on your question. Just let me finish this. Okay, so this bar is known as command line where we type our commands. So just put it back to over here, and the last over here we have a status bar. So you might have a different option. You might have a smaller status bar, you might have a bigger status bar. So don't worry about that. This is our status bar. Okay, so this is our small introduction about AutoCAD. Again, quick access toolbar, then menu bar, then we have ribbon. Ribbon is made with the two things, tab and panel. Then on the right side we have navigation bar, on the bottom we have command line, and last we have status bar. Okay, and this black area is known as viewport. Okay, now we have one question over here that my layout is different from this. Okay, no problem. So if you all have different layout, then do one thing, go to this drop down and turn on this workspace. Okay, so it will be over here in front of you, and go to the drafting and annotation tab. See, if you are in 3D modeling or basic 3D, your tools will be different. Okay, so stay in the drafting and annotation mode while you are working in 2D environment. Okay, right now we are working in 2D environment. So take a drafting and annotation over here in the workspace. Okay, so turn on this workspace if you don't have. How to insert ribbon? Ribbon will always there. See, it will be hidden. So with this button you can hide and show your ribbon. So you will get this small button that minimize the panel button and maximize the panel button we have. Okay, so with this button you can compress your tools or hide your ribbon, and you can enlarge your ribbon also. Now anyone, any other have quick question? So
No,
clear
sir.
up to this point? Okay, so now let me continue with our tools. So initially we will start with the line tool, then step by step we will learn different tools, and at the end of this session we will try to create some drawings from the civil side also and from the mechanical side also. How to install this software? See my friend, we created one video for the installation purpose. So you will find that video from the YouTube channel, and still if you have any query, then we will discuss at the end of this session. Okay, so first of all, let we continue our session. We'll discuss that question later. Okay, so first of all, we have line command. You can take your line command from this ribbon, go to the home. Over here we have line tool, but I generally prefer the shortkeys for each and every tool. So shortkey for the line command is L. So type L.
Sritu sir, sorry to interrupt. I have a question.
Yes.
Can you tell us? I mean, today colleges are using Drafter as a drafting tool in their engineering drawing. Hello.
Actually, it's a engineering subject, sir, and they are using
So
drafter.
students, some. My question is, some colleges are using drafter as a engineering drawing whereas in some colleges they are no more using drafting. They are directly starting with AutoCAD. So if can you compare between drafting, what you do with the drafter, and what you can do with an AutoCAD in 2 minutes? Can you just explain us?
Yes, definitely, sir. See, drafter is a tool that we use for the manual drawing purpose, right? In the engineering, in the first semester, that they are teaching us that how to draw engineering drawings manually. At that time, we are using drafter to create our drawing. But in the with the help of AutoCAD, we don't need any kind of tool. We can easily create our vertical line, our horizontal line with the help of our ortho mode in this AutoCAD. You don't need any scale or drafter or anything. You can easily create your straight line with the help of software. You don't need to check that this line is properly vertical or not, this line is properly horizontal or not. So we don't, the chances of the error is reduced with the help of software. It is clear, sir?
Yeah. So everything that can be done using a drafter can also be done in AutoCAD.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me continue our session. I think it is clear now. Okay, so let me start
Yes,
our
sir.
line command. So press L and hit enter. So for the line, and as you can see on the ribbon, we have a one question, that is specify first point. So with the mouse click, you can specify your first point, and initially you are able to draw any a line at any angle like this. So just simply place a new point and you are able to draw your line randomly, right? But for example, I want a perfectly horizontal line and I want a perfectly vertical line. So for that, we have one option, that is ortho mode, right? So type L, enter, and put your first point. And right now we are able to create a line at any angle. But go to your status bar and you will find one option, ortho mode. And shortcut for that is F8. So press F8, or you can click over here also in the status bar. So press F8. And as you can see on the in the command line, we have ortho on. That means now we are only able to create horizontal and vertical line. For example, if you want to create line at some angle, then you can use polar also. We have polar mode also available, but we will discuss that later. First, we will discuss this ortho mode. Now, I want to create one line over here. For example, 100 line. So just put your cursor over there and type 100 and hit enter. So your 100 line will be created. Now, for example, on the top side, I want to go 25 enter in this direction. So whatever direction your cursor is, your line will be created in that direction when you hit your enter. Okay. So let's say 75, enter. So see, this 75 line is created. Now I want one line in this direction, again 75, enter. In this direction 25, and then we can use, we have some couple of options over here. See, close and undo. So if you press undo, then your single line will be back. So if you create some line by mistake, then you can use this undo button also. And when you press this close, so your line will finish from where you have started. Okay, so it will close automatically. Here we have one question, sir. If I want to measure it in centimeter or any other, then we will discuss about unit. Okay, so don't worry, we'll discuss about unit, but just let me finish our 2 or 3 tools, then we will discuss about units and dimensioning. Okay, so again, line tool, L, enter your starting point, and then provide value, for example 50. On the top side again 50, in this direction again 50, and then again I'm pressing escape to cancel this command. So if I'm using escape, so my line will be finished from here, and if I use close command, then my line will finish over here. So one line will be created like this. Okay, so this is our line tool. Then let me discuss other tool, but before we discuss our other tools, I want to discuss the coordinate systems. Okay, so for the coordinate system, let me create one object over here. For example, see, these are the dimensions we have. Okay, I hope this dimensions is visible for you. Let me change the height. Okay, I hope now these dimensions are visible. So how to create this object without ortho mode using our coordinates and all. So see, I am going to turn off this ortho mode, and let me create one object using our standard method, using our coordinates or using our keyboard. Okay, so type L, enter, then put your first point, and then we want to create one horizontal line of 100 mm. Okay, we want to create one horizontal line of 100 mm. So what will be the coordinate of this point from our starting position? So we are over here and we want to go 100 mm in positive x direction. So my coordinate will be 100, 0. Okay, so you need to type over here @ 100, 0. So what will happen? From where we are, we will go to the 100, 0, enter. So see, this 100 mm line is created. Now we want to go 20 mm vertically. So the position from here, see, from here, this is our origin right now. And from here, I want to go on the top side 20 mm. So again, type @ and then 0, 20, because we want to go in y direction 20 mm. Okay, so this is the another method. Again @ now I want to go 80 mm in negative x direction. In this direction I want to go. So again at the rate minus 80 comma 0. See, again at the rate now 0 comma 80 because I want to go in positive y direction 80 mm. Okay, again at the rate minus 20 comma 0, and see now you can choose this close option. But one more, we are using shortkeys for each and everything. So for this close button we have a blue letter C. So this is our shortkey. So you can type C over here, C, enter. So in this way you can choose that command also. You can choose that command with the mouse click also or with the keyboard shortkey also. Okay. So this is one method. This method is known as relative coordinate system. Okay. And another method we already discussed, that is our direct method. We generally prefer our direct method to draw any object, right? So just select it and delete it. Now let me discuss our next tool, that is rectangle. To create rectangle, the shortkey is REC. So type REC, hit enter. Sir, should we use @ key or it will come automatically? No, we need to use. If you are not using @, then it will go for the absolute coordinate system. It will follow the absolute coordinate system. And what is the absolute coordinate system? Your absolute coordinate system means your actual coordinate system. Our actual origin is over here. So see, for example, I choose my line and I type 0 comma 0 over here without any @. See, so it will take a 0 comma 0 point in actual coordinate system. Now I am typing 100 comma 0. So it will go up to the 100 comma 0 point. So this is our actual address, our actual coordinate system, that is known as absolute coordinate system. But we created our object over here with the help of relative coordinate system, and with the help of relative coordinate system, so we need to use @ key. Sir, kindly explain polar coordinate system. Okay, I will explain that polar coordinate system, but let me finish some tools before. Okay, so now let me discuss our rectangle tool. So REC, enter, and here you need to create two corner point. See, specify first corner point. So let's say click over here and specify other corner point. So we are going to click over here. So this rectangle is created, but how to create with proper dimension? So we have some options inside this rectangle. So let me discuss each and every options in the rectangle. So REC, enter, and specify your first point. And then we have three options over here: area, dimension, and rotation. So let me go to the area. So he is asking us that enter area of rectangle in current units. Okay, so let me enter 5000. So I want a rectangle of 5000 area. Hit enter. Now he is asking us that provide me a length or a width. Okay, so we want to provide either length or width. So let me say length, and I want 100 mm length, and enter. So this rectangle have 100 mm length and area is 5000. So the width will be automatically 50 mm. Okay, so 50 into 100 means 5000. Then next method we have, put your first point, then you will get that option. Okay, so next option we have dimension. So click on dimension, and here you need to provide length first. Let's say 150, enter, and then width. let's say 70 mm. Enter. So now this rectangle is created, but it is floating in 4 different quadrant. See, so now you need to press, or you need to place it in a proper position, that in which quadrant you want to put this rectangle. Okay, so let me place it over here. Then the third option we have is for the rotation. So go to the rectangle, put your first point, and for example I want to create this rectangle at some angle. So what will we do? We'll go for the rotation, and you can provide your angle over here, let's say 30 degree. So in this way you can create your rectangle at some angle also. But there is one thing that you need to keep in your mind, that rectangle will never lose your last value. Okay, so when I'm going to create my new rectangle, it will automatically create at some angle. So again you need to go to the rotation and you need to zero your angle, then you will get your proper rectangle back. Okay, and also we have some more options. So again let me go to the rectangle. We discussed 3 options: area, dimensions and rotation, and that option we get after our first point. But before we put our first point, we have couple of options over here. So here we have chamfer, fillet, width, elevation and thickness. So first of all let me discuss chamfer. So whenever we have a sharp corner, so if you want to if you want to break your corner with a line, so you can use this chamfer. See, let me go to the chamfer. So here we need to provide 2 values: chamfer distance for the first line, so let's say 10 mm, and chamfer distance for the second line, let's say 5 mm. Enter. And now create your rectangle, and as you all can see, your corners will be broken. So this is our first line, it is trim around 10 mm, and this line, this is second line, is 5 mm, and it is connected with a line. Similarly 10, 5, 10, 5. Okay. So it will follow a anti-clockwise pattern. Yes. Okay. Then similarly, this option is known as edge preparation option. Okay. And we have one more edge preparation option. So go to the rectangle, and that is fillet. So if you provide some value to the fillet, your chamfer will automatically remove. So click on fillet, and let's say I want a fillet of 12 mm. So fillet means it will create one round. So it will create a round at your corner like this, and you need to provide a radius. Okay, so we have 2 options for the edge preparation: chamfer and fillet. If you want to remove this thing, again go to the rectangle and you need to zero that value. So go to the fillet and type 0, then you will get your proper rectangle back. Okay, then next option we have rectangle in width. So click on width and provide some value, let's say 2 or 3. So it will create a darker rectangle, a bold rectangle for you. So many times in our drawing we use a thick line or a small line. So for in this way you can use this a dark rectangle, width rectangle, to highlight anything. Okay, and again go to the rectangle and zero this value. And then we have 2 more option: elevation and thickness. These both options are for the 3D purpose. So we are going to skip this both option right now. We will discuss that in our 3D environment. Hello? Hello? Anyone have question? I hope my screen is properly visible. Okay. So next tool we have is a circle. Okay, so we have couple of options over there also. So type C, enter, and then we have notice over here, that is specify center point of circle. So with the help of coordinate you can specify, or with the help of mouse click. So let us specify with the mouse click. So put over here, then specify radius. So let's say 15 mm. So type 15 and enter. So this is 15 mm radius circle. Okay, again C, enter your center point. And for example, I want to provide diameter. So we have option diameter, and the blue letter is D. So you can type D also if you go with the short keys. So type D, enter, and now whatever value you are providing will be your diameter. Let's say 50. So it's a 50 mm diameter circle. We have some more options in the circle. So type C, enter. Here we have 3P option. That means 3-point circle. As we all know that we can define a circle with a 3 non-collinear point. So just click your 3 points, and that 3 points must be non-collinear. Okay, so you will get one circle. Again, circle, 3 point. Let's say this is our first point, this is our second point, and this is our third point. So you will get a circle with the 3 point. We also have a option for the 2 point. So go with the circle, 2 point, and take first point and second point. So whatever 2 point you are going to select will be your maximum distance of your circle. Okay, and then we have one more option, tangent, tangent, and radius. So for example, over here I want to create one circle which must be tangent with this line, tangent with this line, and it should have 10 mm radius. Okay, so you can use this option at that time, TTR, tangent, tangent, radius. So go with the TTR. First specify first line, then second line, and now you need to provide radius. Let's say 10. So you will get this output. You might get a different output like this also. So this is also a correct result. Okay, and you might get a output like this also. This is also a correct result. So we have 4 solutions over here. Tangent with this line and this line, it may happens over here, it may happens over here, it may happens here also, and here also. So we have 4 solutions over here, and all these 4 options are correct. Okay, so don't confuse in that. Let me show you again. Circle, TTR, I want a circle tangent with this line and 25 mm radius. So this is a circle we have. Okay, next tool we have is erase tool, and it is a very useful tool. But before we erase, let me discuss some selection tips. To select your drawing, we have 2 options with the mouse. First, click anywhere in the display, and then go to the right side. You will get one blue box. This box is known as window, and this selection method is known as window selection method. But if you go to the left side, you will get one green box. This green box is known as crossing, and this is our crossing selection method. Okay, so this is our window, this is our crossing. And what is the difference between window and crossing method? So once you select any object with the window, you need to cover that object fully if you want to select that. See, over here we are getting that small circle, selected, but this bigger circle, this half circle is not selected because this circle is not fully covered in our selection. But if we select it from the right to left, that means with the help of crossing, so whatever object are partially covered in our selection are also going to select. So we have this solution. So this is our selection method. For the window, you need to cover entire object with the selection box, and for the crossing you just cross that object. That's enough for the selection purpose. Okay, so now select, and you can type delete key in your keyboard, or we have E short key, E for erase, E enter. So we have erase tool, then select and again enter. Or you can do vice versa also. First select, then type E and enter. First select, then E and enter. So in this way you can use any method to erase your object. So now we discuss line tool, rectangle tool, circle tool. Then we discuss about the absolute coordinate system and the relative coordinate system. Now let me discuss about the polar coordinate system and polar mode. Okay, we already discussed our ortho mode, so that we can create a horizontal and vertical line, and the shortcut is F8. But what if I want to create a line at some angle? So for that you need to use our polar coordinate system and polar method. So here is our example. Let's say let me create one object for you. For example, we want to create this object. Each dimension, each line length is 50 mm. Okay, so how we can create? So for that we can use our polar coordinate system. Now see, the format of polar coordinate system is, here I am typing the format. At the rate r less than angle. So this is our format for the polar coordinate system. At the rate r means your radius, then this is our angle symbol. But we in the keyboard we do not have anything. So AutoCAD have decided, the software developer have decided that we will use a less than key over here. So this is our separator. Okay, so let me create this object with the polar method. So L enter line, our first point, and let me off this ortho mode first. So it is free now. Now type at the rate. Now the length of line we want 50 mm, then less than, and at which angle you want to create this line, and your angle must be measured with the positive x-axis. Okay, so here we have 45 degree and enter. So here we have a line of 50 mm length at 45 degree. So this is our polar method. Again, at the rate, new line is 50 mm less than, our angle is, this is our 0 and we want to go in this direction. So this is our 90 and again 45. So 135. So our angle will be 135. Clear? Again, at the rate 50 mm length less than, this is our 0 and this is our 180 and 45. 225. So 225, enter, and then you can use this close button. So this is our polar coordinate system. Okay, and also we have a polar mode. So to turn on this polar mode like ortho, we have a shortcut F10. But before we go use this polar mode, just go to the polar setting. How to go to the polar setting? Just go to the small triangle and click on this tracking setting. So you will get this drafting setting dialog box, and over here we have polar tracking, and here you need to decide your increment angle, at which angle you want to work. Let's say 45, and hit OK. And now take a line tool. So like a direct method, you will get a tracking. See this green dotted line we have, this is our tracking, and we choose 45. So at every 45 degree you will get a tracking like this. So this is again our direct method using polar setting. So put your cursor over here, just type your value 50 and enter. Then in this direction again 50, enter. Then in this direction 50, enter, and then close. So in this way we can use our polar coordinate system. So we have two types of methods, ortho mode and polar mode, and four types of coordinate system. First one is absolute coordinate system. Second, we discuss relative coordinate system. Then we discuss this polar coordinate system and our direct method using ortho mode. Okay. So I hope you all are clear up to this point. Do you have any queries? Or we should continue?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. So now next we have arc creation tool, polygon, ellipse, and some other tools. And after that we will discuss trim and extend, and then we will draw some mechanical objects and some civil drawing also. Okay. So let me discuss arc. So for that, here we have one line, for example 100 mm, enter. Now we have one more option. See, before we move further, we have this object snap F3. This is a very helpful tool. Without this you are not able to draw a single thing. See, I have turned off this thing. So what will happen? For example, I want to create one line from this end point. Okay, so we are not able to grab this end point exactly. That doesn't matter that how much you zoom in, but you are not able to pick a proper point over here. There will be a gap over there. Okay, so to take or to get a proper point of your object, you need to turn on this object snap, and the shortcut is F3. So turn on this and go to the setting. So here you will find that which type of point we have and what are the symbols we have. For the endpoint we have this box, for the midpoint we have triangle, for the center point we have circle, geometry center again circle, node symbol, quadrant symbol, intersection. So these are the our points, and it will indicate only that point that you have activated. For example, we want node point, then just turn on this, check this box. Okay, so now take your command line, enter. Now you will get a notification over here. See, this is endpoint. and a box is there, right? For example, I want to grab a midpoint. So this is our midpoint. See, midpoint we have highlighted. So in this way, you can draw easily with the help of snapping tool. So your snapping tool must be on, and check it that your required tools are active or not. Let me take 50 mm. Okay, now we will discuss about the arc. So shortcut for the arc is A. So type A, enter, and this is our 3-point arc. So you need to create, select first point, second point, and third point, and your arc will be finished. And arc is a piece of your circle. Okay, select it, delete. I have turned off this ortho mode, but we have many more options in the ribbon. Say over here we have this much options for the arc creation purpose. We already discussed this 3-point. Then we have start, center, end. So in this sequence you have to select your points. You have to select 3 points, but the sequence is this: start, then center, then end. So click this. For example, I want to put my start over here. So this is my first click, start. This is my second click, and this is my third click. So this is start, center, and end. Okay. Then next we have start, center, and angle. So again, start, center, but this time we can provide some value over here that I want 135-degree angle. So this is our angle. And if you want to measure, then you need to draw one line over here, and then you can measure angle. This is our 135-degree angle. We'll discuss this dimensioning tool later, but I am just confirming you. Then next we have is start, center, and length. So go with this option. Again, start, center, and here I am typing my length, and it is let's say 90 mm. So which value will be our 90 mm over here? I know that you are hoping that this is our arc length will be our 90 mm, right? But no. See, our arc length is 111.98 mm. So distance between your starting point and ending point, a straight distance between your starting point and ending point will be your length, and this length is known as chord length. Okay, chord length. So maximum you can provide this value up to the diameter. Okay, so here we have starting point here and center point over here. This length is 50 mm. So we can create we can provide a chord length up to the 100 mm only. If we go further 100 mm, then the arc will not define. Then next we have start, then end, and angle. So these are the uneven options we have, free from options we have. So go to the start, then directly end, and then we have to specify angle. So this is our start and this is our end. Okay, and let's say I want to keep 120-degree angle. So in this way he will put his center point. Then same we have start, end, and direction. So here you need to provide your tangent direction. So if you turn on this polar mode, then you can provide some angle that I want a tangent with this 45-degree angle. I want tangent with this 90-degree angle. So in this way you need to provide a tangent direction. The next we have is radius. So start, end, and provide some radius. Let's say 75 mm. So in this way, he will put his center point. Again, we have three more option: center start end, center start angle, and center start length. These three options are same as these three options, but the first point is your starting point, second point is your center point. But in this case, your first point is your center point and second point is your starting point. Okay, so let's have one example: center start end. So first click will be your center point, so you need to select that point where you want to put your center. So here is my first point, then this is my start point and end point. So in this way you can create your arc. Lastly, we have a continuous arc, so it will continue from your last point automatically and tangentially. So in this way we can create arc in AutoCAD. And next we have ellipse tool. So for the ellipse, I will suggest you to create a major axis and minor axis first, so it will be easiest for you. So for example, we have 100 mm and 50 mm of major axis and minor axis. Now the shortcut for the ellipse is EL. Type EL and enter. Then we have two methods to create this ellipse. First one is 3-point method. So the first point, second point, and third point, you need to follow my selection method. See, ellipse. So our first 2 point must be from this same axis. For example, we have this major axis. So my first point and second point both are from this major axis, and the third point is from the other axis. Okay, so don't select like this. Then next method we have is the center method. So go with the center, select this center point first, then specify any end point of the major or a minor, and then the minor one. So in this way you can create your ellipse. Next we have polygon. So before I teach you polygon, I want to explain you something. See, this is our polygon. Okay, and we have some properties of the polygon, that all sides must be equal or corners must be equal, and it should be a closed figure. That object is known as polygon. Not only pentagon, we have hexagon, heptagon, square, equal side triangle we have, right? So all that objects are known as polygon. We have three conditions for that: it should be closed, it must be all sides are equal, and all corners are also equal. So over here we have two methods to create this polygon. First method is, you can provide a value from your center point to the corner point. See, over here all these corners are at equal distance from the center, so these lines are equals. Okay, so if I create one circle using that radius, so that circle will pass from the corners, because all the corners are at the same distance from the center. And we have one more property, and that is, all the sides are also at the same distance. See, these lines are also equal. So if you create one circle of this much radius, then that circle will also going to tangent with all lines. See, so these are the two methods we have to create a polygon. That's why I have explained you first. Now I am going to explain how to create this polygon. For there, first of all, I am creating one circle of 50 mm diameter. See, we have created one circle of 50 mm radius. Okay. And now we are going to create one polygon. So click on polygon, POL. Now here you need to enter number of sides. Let's say we want to create a 5-side polygon, that means pentagon. So 5, enter. Then you need to specify a center of your polygon. So we are going to specify our center right over here. And then we have two methods, inscribed and circumscribed. So first of all, we'll go with the inscribed in circle. So what will happen? He is going to ask us that specify radius of the circle. And as you can see, this yellow line is representing as a radius. So we are actually providing a value from center to the corner of the polygon. As you can see in the preview. So for example, I am providing value 50 over here. So this corner will be on that circle, because that circle is also a 50 mm radius circle. So now you get my point. So we provide a radius 50 from here to here. This is our radius from center to the corner of the polygon in the inscribed method. Now we have one more method, again polygon, 5 sides, center will be the same over here, but this time I am choosing circumscribed about circle. So in this method, we are providing our radius up to the edge. See, this yellow line is now not at the corner, it's at the edge. So again, I am entering 50 over here, so it will be up to this point, up to this size. See, let me enter 50. 50, enter. So this time, he count radius from center to this point. Okay. So this is also a 50 mm radius polygon. This is also a 50 mm radius polygon. But in the first polygon, we measure our radius from center to corner. But in the second polygon, we measure our radius from center to the edge. Okay, so these are the two methods we have. So always keep this thing in your mind, that with which method you are creating this thing. And also we have third option, polygon, enter, number of sides, let's say 6, enter. Then we have edge method. So for example, we do not have any kind of radius from center to corner or center to edge. We don't have this type of radius, but we have a value of one side. That means all sides are equal. So go to the edge method, click the first point, and with the direct method just provide a value. Let's say 50. So these all sides are 50 mm. Right? So these are the options we have. So I hope you all are clear up to this point. Next we have, okay, so next we are going to discuss some modification tool. Actually our modification tool is in our second day session, but let me discuss some of them. So here I am creating some line, and now see, our first modification tool is move. So type M, enter, and then select your object which you want to move. Then again enter, then select. Now you need to specify the base point from where you want to hold your object. So from this point I want to hold it, and then where you want to place. For example, I'm using ortho mode and in this direction 50 mm. So it will be move in that direction 50 mm. So you can use this ortho mode also to move. M, enter, select object, enter base point, and then provide the direction and value. And you can do point to point translation also. M, enter, select, enter, and I want to move this object from here to here. So in this way you can place your object from one place to other place. Similarly, we have copy. So C, O, enter, select object, enter, and base point. So up to this thing we have this same scenario like move. Then provide the direction and value, say 50. So we have a copy at 50 mm. Again copy, select object, enter from here, and I want to put a copy at here, one copy at here. So in this way you can use the snapping tool also to create a copy. Then next we have a rotate tool. So how to rotate our object? So arrow, enter, select your object, enter, and specify a base point, and your base point will be your pivot point. So keep this thing in your mind. For example, I am specifying this point as my base point. So now see, I'm turning off this off. So we are rotating around that point. Okay. And for example, we choose rotate, enter, select this object, enter. But as a base point, I am choosing this point. So my object will rotate around that point. So your selection of your base point is very important over here. Okay. And then just provide your angle. Let's say 45. Your object will be rotated. Control Z for the undo. So these are the options we have in the modification. Also we have some trimming and extension tool. So let we delete this all and we create one new frame structure. Now see, our next tool is offset tool. So offset is a very useful tool to create a same object at certain distance. You can use offset. So in the offset command, type O, enter, then specify offset value first. Let's say 25, enter. Now you need to select your object and then you need to place on the top or on the bottom. It will create a same object at your provided value. Okay, we have provided 25. So he's creating a object at this distance. Let me do the same with this rectangle. See, with this circle, you can do it outside or inside. So this is our offset tool. You can do as many times as you want. Okay, and now we have some intersecting lines over here, and now we are going to discuss our trim tool. So to trim any object, to cut any object, you need to use your trim tool, and for that you need to type TR, then use twice enter. You need to press 2 times enter. Enter, enter. I will explain you why we use twice enter. Okay. but initially you just type twice enter, then select your object, whatever object you want to trim, and that object will automatically trim up to the next reference. See, this object is trim up to this reference, again this one. So in this way you can use trim tool to trim your object. Now what is the reason behind this twice enter? So press escape. Now tr enter. In your first selection we have to select that object, which object we want to keep as a reference. So here I am again providing enter, so it means it will automatically go for the select all. So that's why I am using double enter over here. So again hit enter without selecting any object. So your all objects are selected now as a reference. So now if you are going to trim any object, it will automatically trim up to the next reference. We have many more options over here, but that we will discuss in our next class. Now next we discuss about extension. So the opposite of the trim tool is extend. EX, enter, enter. So in the trim and extend, in this both tool you have to use twice enter, and then you can extend your object like this. See, so in this way you can extend your objects. So I hope you all are clear up to this point. Do you have any query? Then you can ask me. Okay, no problem. No doubts. Okay, good. So now, first of all, we are taking a small example of mechanical. Okay, so we are creating a small object, a orthographic object over here. So let me create first isometric view. So using line command, I am starting my work over here. So L enter, and from this direction, for example, I want to go 80 mm. Then on the top side, let's say 20 mm or 12 mm, not 20 mm. Then again in this direction 40 on the top, let we say 20 mm, then 40 and close. Here I want to create one circle, then trim this half circle and remove this line also. Okay, then we have one hole over here, so create one more circle of 8 mm radius, and at the bottom we have 40 mm, 12 mm, and up to this point. Trim this line. So this is our first view. Let's say our front view. Now I want to create my left side view. So I'm taking a projection from here up to this point, randomly I have taken. Now see, this is 12 mm, then again 40, 12 and close. Now erase this line. Again 40 mm, then 12 mm, then 40 mm. I will share you one assignment, so you have to practice it. Also, we can do a copy over here. See, select it, copy from this point to this point. So in this way, we can do a copy 20, 40, and 20. Last, circle tool over here, or you can use arc tool. Let me trim this and select this and erase. Now circle over here 8 mm diameter. So this is our front view, this is our left side view. Now let me create our top view over here. Let me take a small projection and then again 60 mm first, then 40, then 60, and erase this line. We have a circular portion on the starting point. And circle over here at 8 mm. Now we want a offset of 12 mm from here and from here, and offset of 40 mm, let's say, from here to here. Then we can use again trim this line, and this line. So this is our top view, this is our front view, and this is our side view. Just a minute, I am showing you the 3D view of that object from my workbook. So just a minute. So you will get the proper idea that how we created this thing. Okay. So here is the workbook screen. I hope you are all able to see. And I have created this object. This one. And here we have a front view, top view, front view, and right side view. These are the views that we have created using AutoCAD. Now just imagine that with the help of your scale and pencil and on paper, you are going to create this object. So how much time it will take? So it is very easy to use these softwares. Now let me take one example from the civil side. Now for the civil side, first we are going to change our unit. See, our new topic, how to change unit. So the short key is UN. Type UN, enter, and here is your unit type and its precision. Let me go to the engineering. So it will be in feet and inches. So this is our input type, but our unit is over here. So once you change it into a engineering, then you have to change this millimeters to inches. Okay, because our input is feet and inches. So our unit is inches. This is our angular unit, degree, minute, second, gradient, surveyor unit, decimal degree, and its precision. Now hit OK, and let me create our drawing, a simple plan. So first of all, let me create one room with the dimension. Go to the dimension. Let's say length I want 13 then you need to type a single days for the feet and your double days for the inches. So length is 13, and width, let's say 12 feet. And here we have, okay. So now we want to create a wall of 9 inches. So you can take a offset, enter, and take a offset of 9 inches. So type 9, enter, and just take a offset of this rectangle. So this is our first room. Now I am going to explode this rectangle. So to explode that, type X, enter, and select this. So now all these lines are separate. Again, we want a room over here of 12 feet. So again, we are taking one more offset. Let's say 12 feet. Enter from this wall to here, and again offset of 9 inches because we need to create a wall. So 9 inches, but it's a outside. So select it and outside. Now extend your walls up to the references. Okay, so we have created two rooms over here. Now we want to create one hole over here of 15 feet by 15 feet. So offset of 15, not 16, 15 feet from this face, and again offset 9 inches from here to outside. Extend this wall and horizontally also 15. So offset 15 feet. So as you all can see, we are using offset tool for many purposes. So this is a 15 feet by 15 feet room. Now use trim tool and just trim the rest portion because we don't need to mesh this room. We want to create a staircase over here. So let's say just extend this line and then extend this line vertically also. Just keep your eyes over here, okay? Because within a 5 minute your plan will be changed. Offset 3 feet. I am taking 3 feet offset from this wall to here, and the wall thickness we will take inside. So this is our wall thickness, and extend this wall. Okay. Now for the staircase I want a 6 feet gap over here. So again offset 6 feet of this line here, and the wall thickness should be outside. Okay. Now trim this portion, this portion, and this portion, and this portion, and also this one. Okay. So this is our hole. This is the area for the staircase. There is one bedroom. This is another bedroom, and I want to extend this room around 2 feet. So offset 2 feet from here to here, and the wall thickness will be inside. Let's say extend. Okay, now trim these lines and these lines. So this is our layout. Okay, now let me clear this thing. So remove these all lines our that meshing our model, that disturbing in our model. Then trim all these small tiny lines with the trim tool. Just TR double enter and select all these small lines and remove it. So it is very easy to create a drawing using AutoCAD software, but you have to practice it. First of all the tools you have to practice, and you need to give some time to this software. So this is our layout is ready now. Now let me add some doors and windows over here. So for example, on this wall I have a window of 5 feet. So I'm creating one line, then offset of the 2 feet 6 inches, half distance, 2 feet 6 inches on the both side, this side and this side. Then erase this center line and do one horizontal line over here. So this is our window symbol. For example, I want to create one door over here. So just create a line, do the offset. Door thickness should be 2 feet 6 inches and do the opening. Then we can place a door over here. Similarly, over here we want to place a 3 feet door. So I have created two lines. Now offset 3 feet on the left side, on the right side, and trim it. So we can place door over here. We want one more door for the main entrance of 4 feet. So offset of 4 feet from here to here and trim it. Now how to create door and frame structure and all. We want one, for example, we want one more door here, smaller door, 2 feet 6 inches. Now just create that frame size over here. Let's say 5 inch and then 2 inch, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1 and close. So this is our frame. Let me mirror it. So take a mirror. Okay. Now just copy it, CO, enter and place it at every door. So this is our frame structure. So here, and for this we need to rotate. Okay. Copy the other one, copy this one. I'm selecting from this midpoint and let me place right over here, here and also here. Now we need to rotate this. So RO, enter, select it and rotate it 90-degree with the ortho mode and move it from here, here and from this point to this point. Now how to create doors? It is also a very easy task. First of all, create one line. And then create one circle, but put your center point at your hinge. So I want to create a door over here and I want to put my hinge over here. So put your center point right here and create a circle up to this point. Now line from here to here and trim it. TR, enter, this line and this line as this piece. And if you want to show this door panel thickness, so you can do offset 1 inch over here. So this is our door panel. So whatever detailing you want to do, you can. So this is our door. Let me mirror it. So mirror, select it, enter, and we are going to mirror around this point. So in this way we can place our door, our window and all the detailings very easily with the help of this software. So now if you have any question or if you want to ask me anything, then you can ask me. That's it for today. And the rest tool we will discuss in our next lecture. So are you satisfied with this lecture? Have you enjoyed this session? Okay. And have you learned something new? Okay, good. So if you have any queries, then you can ask me. I will definitely solve it out for you. Just unmute yourself and ask your question if you have.
How did you come to know about the top, bottom, and left view?
Okay, because I know that object already. Because that I know already. See, let me share you that screen again of the assignment. Over here, I hope this screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, this is my isometric object. This is my 3D object. Okay. And I know because it's clear in my mind that I'm going to create this object. So that's why I say that this is our front view. This is our side view. And this is our top view. Are you getting me?
Sir, no, can you please explain again?
Okay. See, in the engineering drawing, whatever drawing you have in the center, see, we have total 4 drawings, right? Let me go to the AutoCAD screen and explain you properly. In the engineering drawing, whenever we are creating a engineering drawing, we have some views. See, for example, we are discussing about the third angle method. Okay. So in the third angle method, this is our format. Top view will always on the top, bottom view will always on the bottom. Okay. Left view will be on
Okay.
left and right view will be on right side. Okay, so see, whenever you read any engineering drawing, so first of all examine that which are the drawing and drawing arrangement. In our drawing arrangement we have these three views, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Whenever your two drawings are crossing like this, so whatever drawing will be on center will be your front view. You need to assume that is your front view.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so in our drawing sheet, as you can see, this is our first drawing, this is our second drawing. See, this is our first drawing, this is our second drawing, but this both drawing are intersecting over here. So we need to assume that this is our front view and this is our remaining views as per our method, whatever method, projection method we have used. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, anyone else? So I will share you the assignment, you have to finish it and you have to practice it and you have to mail it to me, okay, after you complete that task. I will share one assignment to you
Okay, sir.
and you all have to come in our next class, that will be on Friday at same time. Okay, share the recorded video. Yes, recorded videos will be there on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe our YouTube channel. You will get our all the sessions recorded video over there. Just type Scikit Center in the YouTube and you will get our YouTube channel over there. Submission date and time is tomorrow up to midnight, and mail ID is also written over there in the assignment. Where to send? Mail ID will be there, my friend. No, our current this session will be there in the YouTube. Okay. Yes, I have taken your attendance. You will get.
Students,
Yes, sir.
so all students, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the videos will be available on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. If you hit the bell icon, whenever we are uploading a video, you will get a notification on your mobile. The assignment for today has already been shared on your WhatsApp groups. If it is not shared, the respective city, let us say you're from Bangalore or you're from Mysore or you're from Chennai or you're from Pune or whichever location you are, the coordinators of that location will share the assignments on your respective WhatsApp groups. Please subscribe the YouTube channel because we will not be every time WhatsApping you the links of the videos. It is important that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get a notification immediately. Assignments have to be submitted by tomorrow midnight. On the front page of the assignment, you will find the email ID and instructions also mentioned. There is a way you have to write the subject on the assignment. Please ensure the same is followed. Please go through the assignment carefully. Front page has all the instructions, read it carefully, and then accordingly submit your assignments. Thank you. Anybody has any questions, please let us know.
Sir, what about the recorded videos?
Recorded, please remember that recorded videos will be shared every day at night. After all
Okay,
the
sir.
sessions are over, we will upload today's session also. after 8 o'clock. You will see it on the web, on the YouTube channel. For every session, please keep it in your mind that recorded videos will be there on YouTube after 8 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. And when you are watching the YouTube, please don't, there is a comments section in the YouTube. Please don't forget to give your comments and feedback in the comment section so that we understand your queries and we understand whether you are liking the videos or you're not liking the videos. That will be very appreciable if you just give your comments and feedback on YouTube.